All right, a little bit of an emergency MLF fantasy fishing video here because this BPT event kind of snuck up on me, and the way the game was set up, I was a little confused, and I thought I would just see the game pop up, and navigation on the site's a little difficult. So you may not have figured this out yet, but everything that MLF fantasy fishing seems a little bit harder, and we're going to try to untangle that, break that down, make it easy, and we're going to fix that. So this is kind of a weird, quick upload, but I want to get through this so you have time to get ready for the game, because the first BPT event, Stage 1, down in West Monroe, Louisiana, starts February 5th, Saturday. So you need to have your lineups in like 7, 8 a.m. in the morning that day. So let's untangle this web of mystery, get you ready, get you all set up so you can win some prizes. But I think for you true fishing fans that are dedicated and diligent and can get your lineups and consistently get them in, it's going to pay off. And I think it's going to increase your chances to win some prizes from MLF Fantasy Fishing powered by Value Bets. Also good news, I've got some prize packs lined up for the winners of the Beat HellaBass groups. Super K Jigs, one of the swim jig manufacturers that I love and I use all the time, is putting up $25 prize packs, 3 of them, one for each one of the season-long winners in the Beat HellaBass groups for each one of the 3 games. So that's awesome. So now you got something to play for joining the Beat HellaBass group. And I will lay out the codes on how to join each one of those individually, because you need to join every code, or you need to join every group individually for each game. If you can't wait that long, you can use code HellaBass15. Grab yourself some made in the USA custom hand-tied swim jigs that straight snatch them anytime you want. I'll have links and codes in the description below. If you can't wait till your end of the year winner, or if you're just not that confident you're good at fantasy fishing, you just want to grab some, all good. To recap, there are 3 individual games. There is the Pro Circuit picking fantasy fishing game. There's the BPT fantasy fishing game. And then there's the BPT Predictor game. You have to go in each one of those and make picks and join leagues. Now, you only have to join the leagues once, but you have to go in and join each one of them individually. Now, let me show you how to do that. Biggest thing is your best friend is this Play Now button anywhere on MajorLeagueFishing.com. So let's show you how to navigate that. So that brings you into this main site right here, and you can see here are the 3 games. We've already had one event in the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit Fantasy Fishing on Sam Rayburn that just finished up. Congrats to Michael Neal. No thanks to Mark Daniels Jr., who was on my team, didn't show up and didn't fish the event. That helped me 0. Finished very middle in the pack. You can see my video that I did on that in picks below. We're going to have videos for every single event for all MLF fantasy fishing. So if you don't want to miss those, make sure you hit subscribe, bell notification, and that'll help you stay on track of all these events and all these games that you need to play. If you still want to sign up for my group for the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, you can do that right here. Let me show you what the code is. Join the league. Here's your code right here, right there. Copy that down, write that. I'll put it in the description too if you just want to paste and copy. But here's how you join the Tackle Warehouse League. That's separate. Now, one of the things that makes things confusing is if you're in this section and you want to go back out to the play, it says, oh, the fish are sleeping. There's no games to play. Well, but really there are games to play, but they're the BPT ones, but you can't get to them from here no matter where, unless I'm missing something. I don't know where to click on here to get back to those other games. That's where you just, I think, keep going back to MajorLeagueFishing.com, hit that Play Now button, and then we can drill down back into these games. So you need to keep getting back to this screen. So maybe bookmark this Major League Fishing /Fantasy Fishing, and then you can easily get back to that. So let's jump in and do the traditional BPT game right here first. So this one is similar to the other one we did on Sam Rayburn, where you pick a roster of 10 anglers. You pick 5 from each one of the groups or flights. And each one of them now, I think in the other one was like 100 anglers or something like that per group. Now there's only 40 in each one of these groups. So in each one of these groups, one of them needs to be in the bottom 40 AOI ranking, which is in like the bottom half for this group. So there's 2 groups. Here's where I went in Group A. I went with Dakota Ebear. He's from Texas. He's had 3 really solid years on the pro circuit, getting into the BPT. He's from Texas. He's a pretty good angler. I think he'll be just fine fishing down in the bayou. Now, this is a complicated stage. In Stage 1, they're fishing Lake D'Arbonne for the qualifying rounds. They're fishing Caney Creek for the knockout rounds. And for the championship round, they're fishing Bussy Break. These are all relatively small bodies of water compared to a lot of places they fish just north of West Monroe, Louisiana. This is near the Watchtower River where I fished the national championship, but right above the spillway to the Darbone Bayou. I expect all these places to be fairly loaded with cypress trees, a lot of shallow fishing, fairly difficult to navigate. So take that into consideration as you're picking your teams. I'm also going to go with Chris Lane, no stranger. He won a Bassmaster Classic in Louisiana, so I figure he should do just fine. Andy Morgan, ain't no shame in his game when it comes to flipping sticks. Ottifo, shallow water fisherman, river fisherman, he loves it. And Edwin Evers, he catches him everywhere. A guy from Oklahoma should be able to catch him in the bayou. In my Group B, Wheeler, I probably will put on my team literally every single event unless something changes because he's just dominant. Gerald Spores from Louisiana, I think he'll do fine. Keith Poche's from Louisiana. There's not a lot of history on these lakes, so I'm just peppering my lineups with guys that should know how to fish in Louisiana and guys that are good at shallow water fisheries. So that's Keith Poche, Fletcher Shyrock, and Andy Montgomery. Bladed jig, spinner baits, things like that should play really strong here. So those are my lineups. And then you need a tiebreaker. What is the champion sharp winning weight? So that's when the top 10 anglers are going to fish on Bussy Break, which I have no idea. It could be low to the giants. It could be like 100 pounds. It could be 15 pounds. I have no idea. I'm taking a stab at it saying 62 pounds. So you submit your team. Now let me show you how to join the league. Go up here to leagues. And here there's 4 of you in here. Congratulations. But here's the code to join this one now. So I'll also put this down below. And there you go. You can join this one as well. So let's get people pumped in there. We'll fill it up, and you guys will have a shot at winning some Super K swim jigs at the end of the season. Now, let's jump back up. Again, there's no real good way to navigate out of here except for to go back to Major League Fishing and drill back down into the Predictor game. So here, you're going to make your picks. These are more like prop bets, sideline bets. So let's start with the league here. Make sure you get into the league so you don't forget. I will show you how to get in the Tackle Warehouse leagues in just a minute if you don't have that information. But here is the BPT Predictor Game League. Copy that code down, join that, and let's get these filled up. You got until Saturday. If you're watching this later, feel free to join. More the merrier. We'll figure something out, and it'll be a good time. So let's get in and actually play the game. I made my picks. Let's talk about them. Yeah, and you can create your own leagues if you want as well. Basically 4 different prop bets, and basically you get points for every one you get correct. And then I think because there's only 4 questions, tiebreaker is going to be pretty darn important in this game. So which of these anglers is going to finish the highest at stage 1? So I went with Edwin Evers. Obviously all 4 of these guys are very strong anglers, but I feel like an Okie, a guy that is a really strong shallow water angler, is really good at anything. I think Edwin Evers is just a super strong. Now, Skeet Reese is also a really good angler. No knock on any of them, but my gut says Edwin Evers is best suited for this fishery at this time of year, and that's why I picked him. So there's 6 questions. Which of these newcomers, aka rookies to the BPT, are going to finish highest? Cole Floyd, a very good angler. He's kind of a TVA Tennessee River guy. Dylan Hayes comes from the Ozarks, pretty good angler. Clavion Johns, also a good angler, does love shallow water fishing, does love him a frog, but we've got some cold weather, and I'm not sure that frog's going to be real strong, so I'm going to go with Dakota Ebert because he's just probably the most seasoned, biggest numbers, most winning dollars of all these guys, had the most success at the pro circuit over 3 years, and he's from Texas. I think he'll do just fine here. What will the total weight for the last angler to make the cut line in the knockout round? So this is the second round on Bussy Break. You're going to have 38 anglers fishing for 10 spots. So what will be the cut line at the knockout round? So I'm guessing, I don't know. This is tough. Right now I got it at 20 to 25 pounds. I'm thinking it might be a little stingy. I think some guys will really catch them, but it's going to fall off. This is tough. Oh, there's actually show more. I didn't even realize that. Or you can go over 35. And I didn't realize there was actually 2 more people to pick here. Interesting. I still stick with my picks. Lawyer, a really good angler. Salzman, a Pickwick guy. Lawyer's another Ozark guy. But I'm going to stick with that. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. What do you guys think? Tough one. Maybe it's a smash fish. Maybe the smart thing is to take the over here and get more opportunity. Let's just do that. I'm going to do the same thing here. I think somebody's going to catch a giant in the final round, right? So the final round, which is on Bussy Break, which I'm guessing when there's only going to be 10 anglers, can somebody catch an 8-pounder? Somebody catch a 9, 10, 11-pounder? A freak? Maybe. There you go. So then how many school bass over 5 pounds we weighed in the knockout round? So that's where you have 38 anglers fishing. That seems a little high. Will almost everybody catch a 5-pounder? Probably not. So let's say about just under half of them will catch a 5-pounder. Now, but one person could catch multiple 5-pounders, so that's a little tricky. Let's bump it up. Let's go 22. And then total score bass in the championship round. So you got 10 anglers. So I went with 75 plus because I figured if they could each catch 8 bass, unless I guess I don't know what the score. Did they have a 3-pound minimum or a 5-pound minimum? I'm not sure. That's a good question. I should probably research that. Maybe check what the minimum. Let's take a quick look at that. All right, did some quick research. 1 pound, 8 ounce, pound and a halfers for Darbone, and 2-pound minimums for both Caney Creek and Bussy Break. I think that's reasonable that they could average 8 fish apiece. So I'm gonna go the over. So that's what I'm gonna go here. So there you go. I'm gonna submit my picks. We showed you getting the leagues. Let me show you really quick how to get into the Tackle Warehouse groups as well. And if you guys know of any groups that I should join or everybody else should join, then list those down in the comments below. Put the codes down there, and we'll all join each other's groups and have some fun. So if you go to the Tackle Warehouse screen, you can go fancy fishing. You can click on their banner here, and I'll show you right here. But here are the codes for each one of their games as well. So you can go ahead, join here, join those. They usually put out some pretty good prizes as well. Hope you're the best in MLF fantasy fishing. If you want even more fantasy fishing games and more videos around fantasy fishing, make sure you check out this playlist coming up on the screen right here.